I became my own caregiver to spy on my family. They planned to kill me. I'm so glad you're here. If you're watching this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Tell me in the comments where you're listening from. I want to know how far this story reaches. 3 weeks ago, I heard my daughter whisper to her husband, "Mom's life insurance is $2 million. Just be patient. The nurse will handle it." Handle it. Those 2 words changed everything. My name is Evelyn Hartford. I'm 65 years old. I was a nurse for 30 years, and I'm about to tell you how I became my own caregiver to catch my daughter trying to murder me. It started with a fall. A stupid, simple fall. 3 weeks before that whispered conversation, I slipped on my stairs. My foot caught the edge of the carpet. My hip hit the banister. Pain shot through my side like lightning. Nothing broken. Just bruised. Just pride wounded, but my daughter Diana saw something else. She saw opportunity. "Mom, you can't live alone anymore." I was lying on my bed, ice pack on my hip. Diana stood in my doorway, arms crossed, face concerned, voice sweet, too sweet. What if next time is worse? What if you break your hip? What if you fall and can't get up? "Diana, I'm fine. It's just a bruise." "You're 65, Mom. You're not young anymore." Those words stung more than the fall. "I'm perfectly capable of living alone." "Are you?" She stepped into my room, sat on the edge of my bed, put her hand on mine. "Mom, I worry about you." "We all do." She said we. Like it was a family decision. Like they'd been discussing this behind my back. Who's we? "Richard and we've been talking. You need help. Professional help." "I don't need a babysitter." "Not a babysitter. A caregiver. Someone to check on you. Help with meals. Make sure you take your medications." "I don't take any medications. Maybe that's part of the problem." I pulled my hand away, looked at my daughter, really looked at her, Diana. 38 years old, my only child. Beautiful, smart, successful real estate agent. Married to Richard, a financial advisor. 2 kids in private school. House in the suburbs. Perfect life, or so it seemed. "Diana, I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine. I don't need a caregiver," she smiled. But it didn't reach her eyes. "Think about it, Mom, please, for me." She left. The door clicked shut. I sat there in my bed, hip throbbing, mind racing. Something felt wrong. That night I couldn't sleep. The fall kept replaying in my mind, but not the fall itself. Diana's face, her voice, her insistence. "You're 65, Mom. You're not young anymore." I got up, went to my office, opened my laptop, checked my bank accounts. Everything looked normal. Savings, checking, investment accounts, all untouched. Then I checked my credit cards. My heart stopped. There were charges I didn't recognize. Small ones. 47s at a gas station I'd never been to. 123s at a restaurant in the city. $89 at a department store. Not huge amounts, but charges I hadn't made. I scrolled through 3 months of statements. More charges. Always small. Always different places. Someone was using my credit cards. And doing it carefully, keeping the amounts low enough that I wouldn't notice. I grabbed my phone. Called my credit card company. Waded through the automated menu. Finally got a human. "I need to report fraudulent charges." "Of course, ma'am. Can you give me the card number?" I read it off. The representative pulled up my account. "I see several small charges over the past 3 months. Do you recognize any of these?" "None of them." "Were these charges made by an authorized user on your account?" "Authorized user. Who's listed as an authorized user?" She paused, typing, then Diana Mitchell. "Added to the account on February 12th. February. 2 months ago." I never added Diana to my account. "Never authorized her to use my cards, ma'am? Are you still there?" "Yes, I want to remove that authorized user immediately." "Of course. I'll process that right now. Would you also like to dispute these charges?" I thought about it. Diana, my daughter, using my credit cards without asking. Not yet. Just remove her from the account. Done. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, thank you, I hung up. Sat in the dark, staring at my laptop screen, My daughter was stealing from me. Small amounts. Careful amounts. But stealing, why? The next morning, Diana called. Mom, I found a wonderful caregiver agency. Home Guard. They specialize in senior care. Diana, I told you. I already set up a consultation. Tomorrow at 2. They're sending someone to evaluate your needs. You did what? Mom, please. Just meet with them. If you don't like them, fine. But at least hear them out. I wanted to confront her. Ask her about the credit cards. Demand an explanation, but something stopped me. Some instinct I'd developed as a nurse. When you suspect something's wrong, you don't tip your hand. You watch, you wait, you gather evidence. Fine, I'll meet with them. Thank you, Mom. You won't regret this. She hung up. I sat there, mind spinning. Diana was pushing hard for a caregiver. Too hard, and she was stealing from me. What was she planning? That afternoon, I was in my bedroom. Door slightly open. Diana had come over. Said she wanted to help organize my medications. I didn't have any medications to organize, but I let her think I was resting. Closed my eyes. Listened. Diana went into my bathroom. I heard cabinets opening. Bottles moving. Then I heard her voice. Low, on the phone. The nurse starts Monday. No, she doesn't suspect anything. Dr. Morrison said 6 months, maybe less. And the life insurance? $2 million. Plus the estate. Just be patient. The nurse will handle it. My blood turned to ice. Handle it. The nurse will handle it. They weren't hiring a caregiver to help me. They were hiring someone to kill me. I lay perfectly still. Eyes closed. Breathing steady. Every muscle screaming to move, to confront, to run. But I didn't. Because I'd just heard my daughter planning my murder, and I needed to be smart about what happened next. But before I tell you what I did, I want to ask you something. If you discovered your own child was planning to kill you, what would you do? Would you confront them? Call the police? Or would you do what I did? Leave your answer in the comments. Now let me tell you about the plan that saved my life. I waited until Diana left. Then I grabbed my phone. Hands shaking. Dialed a number I hadn't called in years. Patricia Chen's office. This is Evelyn Hartford. I need to speak with Patricia immediately. It's an emergency. Patricia Chen, my estate attorney. Sharp. Brilliant. Ruthless when she needed to be. 2 minutes later, she was on the line. Evelyn. What's wrong? Patricia, I need your help. My daughter is trying to kill me. Silence. Then, tell me everything, I told her. The fall, the credit cards, the overheard conversation, the planned caregiver. Patricia listened. Didn't interrupt. When I finished, she said, we need evidence. Real evidence, audio, video, documented proof. How? You said you were a nurse? For 30 years. Then you know about caregiving. You know the routines, the medications, the procedures. Yes? What if you became your own caregiver? I stopped breathing. What? Think about it. Home Guard sends someone, but that someone is you. In disguise. You care for yourself. You overhear everything. You record everything. You become the witness to your own attempted murder. It was insane. Brilliant. Impossible. Perfect. How would that even work? Leave that to me. I have a plan. 2 days later, I sat in Patricia's office. She had files spread across her desk, photos, documents, a detailed plan. Home Guard Caregiving is a legitimate agency, but they're understaffed, overworked. They take referrals from families and do minimal vetting. So we create a caregiver. Martha Williams, former nurse. Excellent references, all fake, but they won't check too closely. And they'll just send me, Martha, to my own house? Diana requested someone who could start immediately. Home Guard is desperate. They'll send whoever's available. But Diana will recognize me. Patricia slid a photo across the desk. A woman, about 50, brown hair, brown eyes. Nothing remarkable. This is Martha Williams, and this is who you'll become. Over the next 3 days, Patricia transformed me. Brown wig. Professionally styled. Covered my silver gray hair completely. Brown contact lenses. Made my green eyes disappear. thick-framed glasses. Changed the shape of my face. Makeup, age spots removed. Wrinkles filled. Made me look 15 years younger. Accent, slight southern drawl. Different speech patterns. Name tag, uniform, clipboard, props. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't recognize myself. Evelyn Hartford was gone. Martha Williams stared back at me. "One more thing," Patricia said. She handed me a small device. Looked like a pen. Hidden camera? Audio and video. Clips to your uniform. Records everything. Streams to a secure server. Admissible in court. What about me? The real me? Patricia smiled. I have someone who can help with that. She introduced me to Rosa, her assistant. Similar build, similar height, quiet, trustworthy. Rosa will be you. She'll stay in your bedroom. Say she's resting. Recovering from the fall. You as Martha will take care of her. And Diana? Diana will see what she expects to see. A sick mother and a caregiver. She won't look too closely. I took a deep breath. When do we start? Monday morning, 8 a.m. Martha Williams reports for duty. Sunday night. My last night as Evelyn Hartford. For now, I stood in my bedroom. Rosa sat on my bed, looking nervous. You sure about this? She asked. No, but I don't have a choice. What if it doesn't work? What if she recognizes you? Then I go to plan B. What's plan B? Run, Rosa laughed nervously. Great plan, I smiled. It'll work. It has to. Patricia arrived at 11 p.m., helped me with the final transformation. Wig, contacts, makeup, uniform. At midnight, I looked in the mirror one last time. Evelyn was gone. Martha was here. Remember, Patricia said, you're not acting like a caregiver. You are a caregiver. Stay in character. Trust your training. Record everything. What about Diana? Diana expects a nurse. Give her a nurse. Be professional. Be forgettable. Be invisible. Invisible. That's exactly what I needed to be. Now here's where things get interesting. I was about to spend the next week taking care of a fake version of myself while secretly recording my daughter's plan to murder me. Sound crazy? It gets crazier. Wait until you hear what happened. On my first day as Martha the Monday, 8 a.m., I rang my own doorbell. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would burst through my uniform. Diana answered. Smiled. Professional. Friendly. Nothing. Behind her eyes. You must be Martha Williams. Yes, ma'am. From Home Guard. My voice. Different. Southern drawl. Softer. Higher pitch. Diana didn't blink. Didn't recognize me. I was standing 3 feet from my own daughter and she looked right through me. Come in. Let me show you around. She led me through my own house, explaining where everything was, like I hadn't lived there for 30 years. Mom's bedroom is upstairs. She's been very weak since the fall. Mostly stays in bed. What are her symptoms? Dizzy, tired, confused sometimes. Confused. That was new. I wasn't confused, but Diana was setting the narrative. Does she have any medical conditions? Diana handed me a bottle of pills. White tablets. No label. She needs to take these. 3 times a day. Dr. Morrison prescribed them. I took the bottle. Examined it. My nursing training kicked in, small round white tablets. Scored down the middle. Digoxin, I recognized it immediately. Heart medication. Used for arrhythmia and heart failure. Also extremely dangerous in high doses. And I didn't have a heart condition. Has your mother been diagnosed with a heart problem? Yes, recently. Dr. Morrison said it's serious. That's why the medication is so important. Lies. All lies. I smiled, nodded. I'll make sure she takes them. Good. Make sure she takes them with food. And don't skip any doses. It's critical, critical. The word hung in the air. Diana showed me the rest of the house. Kitchen, bathroom, living room. Then we went upstairs. Rosa was in my bed. Covers pulled up. Eyes half closed. Playing the part perfectly. Mom? Diana said softly. The nurse is here. Martha, she's going to take care of you. Rosa looked at me. Gave the slightest nod. Hello, Mrs. Hartford, I said. Strange to say my own name out loud. You'll stay with her all day? Yes, ma'am. 24/7 care. Perfect, Diana smiled. But again, nothing in her eyes. I'll check in later. Call me if anything changes. She left. The door closed. I stood there, in my own bedroom, wearing a disguise, staring at a stranger in my bed. This was insane. I pulled out my phone. Texted Patricia, I'm in. Day 1 begins. First hour. Nothing happened. I sat in the chair next to Rosa's bed. Clipboard in my lap. Hidden camera recording everything, Rosa whispered. How do I look? Convincing. Very. Just stay in bed. Look weak. If Diana comes back, close your eyes. What about the pills? Don't take them. They're poison. Actual poison? Digoxin. High doses can cause heart attack. Rosa's eyes widened. They're really trying to kill you. Yes, and we're going to catch them doing it. Diana returned, didn't knock. Just walked in. Like it was her house. Technically it was my house, but she was treating it like hers. How is she? Resting, weak, like you said. Did she take her medication? Yes, all 3 pills. Lie. I'd flushed them down the toilet. Diana looked at Rosa, then at me. Good, very good. I brought lunch for you. Sandwich in the kitchen? Thank you, ma'am. Please, call me Diana. She sat on the edge of the bed. Put her hand on Rosa's forehead. Fake concern, fake love. How are you feeling, Mom? Rosa groaned softly. Tired. The medication will help. Just be patient. Patient. That word again. Just be patient. The nurse will handle it. Diana stood. Smiled at me. She's in good hands. Then she left again. I waited. Listened. Heard her footsteps on the stairs. Front door opening. Closing. Car starting. She was gone. Rosa sat up. She's terrifying. She's my daughter. That makes it worse. She was right. It did make it worse. PM, lunch. I went downstairs. Found the sandwich Diana left. Turkey on wheat. Looked normal, but I'd been a nurse for 30 years. I knew to be suspicious. I broke the sandwich apart. Examined it. Smelled it. Nothing obvious. But I wasn't taking chances. I threw it in the trash. Made my own lunch. While I was in the kitchen, the front door opened. Diana again. She was checking, frequently, making sure I was doing my job. Martha? Everything okay? Yes, ma'am. Just making lunch. She looked at the trash can. Saw the sandwich I'd thrown away. You didn't like the sandwich? Oh, I'm allergic to turkey. Sorry. I should have mentioned. Of course. Next time I'll bring chicken. Next time. How many next times were there going to be? She went upstairs. I heard her talking to Rosa. Couldn't make out the words. Then she came back down. I'm going to the store. Need anything? No, ma'am. We're fine. She left. Again. But this time I heard something. From upstairs. A phone ringing, Rosa's voice. Loud enough for me to hear. Hello? Yes, this is Evelyn Hartford. No, I can't talk right now. I'm very tired. She was pretending to be me. Taking a call. Making it seem real. Smart. Very smart. PM. Diana returned. With her husband Richard. I'd met Richard before. Tall. Thin. Slicked back hair. Finance guy. Always wearing expensive suits. Always looking at his phone. They came upstairs together. Martha, this is my husband Richard. Hello, sir. Richard looked at me. Then at Rosa in the bed. Then back at me. How's she doing? Stable. Weak. Resting mostly. How long do you think? He left the question hanging. How long do you think until she dies? That's what he was asking. Right in front of me. Hard to say, sir. Depends on many factors. But if she keeps taking her medication, it should help with her condition. Good, that's good. He put his hand on Diana's shoulder. They shared a look, a knowing look. Then they left, together, went downstairs. I heard them talking in the living room. I couldn't make out words. But I could hear tone, urgency, planning, excitement. They were excited about my death. So there I was, taking care of a fake version of myself, listening to my own daughter and son-in-law discuss my murder. And we were only on day 1, but trust me, it gets so much worse. By day 3, I discovered exactly how they were planning to kill me. Keep watching. Tuesday, day 2. Diana arrived at 8 a.m. with more pills. Dr. Morrison wants to adjust her dosage. Give her 4 pills, 3 times daily, 4 pills. They were increasing the dose, trying to speed up the process. Yes, ma'am. She watched me. You'll give them to her now? I want to make sure she was checking, making sure I was complying. Of course, I went to Rosa's bed, poured water, held out the pills. Rosa took them, put them in her mouth, drank water, swallowed. Diana watched closely, satisfied, nodded. Good. I'll be back this afternoon. When she left, Rosa spit the pills into a tissue. This is getting scary, she whispered. I know. But we need more evidence. Keep pretending. That afternoon, something changed. Diana's brother showed up, Thomas. I hadn't seen him in 2 years. Thomas, Diana's younger brother. 35, software engineer. Sweet kid. Always was. Lived in California. Rarely visited. He came upstairs. Saw Rosa in bed, Mom? His voice cracked. Genuine emotion. I came as soon as Diana called. Rosa looked at him. Weakly smiled. Tommy, Diana said you've been sick. Why didn't you tell me? Before Rosa could answer, Diana appeared. Tommy, Mom's been very confused. The doctors think it might be early dementia. Dementia? Since when? The past few months. It's been hard. That's why we got her a caregiver. Thomas looked at me. Then back at Diana. Can I talk to her doctor? Of course. But Tommy, the doctor says she's contagious right now. Some kind of viral infection on top of everything else. You should keep your distance. Contagious? Thomas stepped back. What virus? They're still running tests. But to be safe, maybe just wave from the door? I watched this unfold. Diana was isolating me, fake me from Thomas, making sure he couldn't get close. Couldn't ask questions. Couldn't discover the truth. Thomas waved sadly. I love you, Mom. I'll come back when you're feeling better. He left. Diana walked him downstairs. I heard them talking. How long has she been like this? A few months. It's been declining rapidly. Why didn't you call me sooner? I didn't want to worry you. You're so busy with work. Diana, she's our mother. I know. I'm handling it. The caregiver is excellent. Mom's in good hands. Good hands. Sure. Wednesday, day 3. Things escalated. Diana arrived at noon, with a man I'd never seen before. Martha, this is Dr. Morrison. The doctor, the one who'd prescribed the digoxin. He was young, maybe 40. Nervous, sweating, kept looking at Diana for approval. Doctor, can you examine Mrs. Hartford? I want to make sure the medication is working. He approached Rosa's bed, put his stethoscope on her chest, took her pulse, looked in her eyes. Heart rate is elevated. That's expected with her condition. And the medication? It's working, but we might need to increase the dose again. Again. More poison. How much more? Dr. Morrison pulled out a prescription pad, wrote something, handed it to Diana. Double the current dose. That should speed up the process. Speed up the process. They weren't even trying to hide it anymore. Diana smiled. Thank you, doctor. He left quickly. Practically ran out of the house. Diana turned to me, handed me the prescription, new dosage. Starting tonight. I looked at the paper. 8 pills, 3 times daily. That's 24 pills. Enough digoxin to kill someone in days. Yes, ma'am. She left. I stood there, holding a death sentence. That night, Diana called. Martha, I want to make sure you're giving Mom her medication correctly. Yes, ma'am. 8 pills, 3 times daily, with food. Make sure with food. Yes, ma'am. And Martha? Yes? There might be a bonus for you when Mom passes. If you make sure she takes her medication. Every dose. No mistakes, a bonus. She was bribing me. Bribing the caregiver to kill her mother. I understand, ma'am. Good. We're counting on you. She hung up. I sat there, shaking. Not from fear, from rage. My daughter just tried to hire someone to murder me, and she thought she'd succeeded. Thursday, day 4. That morning started differently. Diana didn't come. Instead, Dr. Morrison showed up alone at 9 a.m. He looked terrible. Bags under his eyes, unshaven, hands trembling worse than before. Is Diana here? No, sir. Just me and Mrs. Hartford. He sat down in the living room. Put his head in his hands. I can't do this anymore. I stayed in character. Professional. Detached. Can't do what, sir? This. All of this. The lying. The fake prescriptions. He looked up at me. You know what they're doing, don't you? You know what they're asking you to do. This was unexpected. A crack in the conspiracy. I'm just following doctor's orders, sir. Those aren't doctor's orders. They're murder orders, and I'm the one writing them. He stood up, paced. I never wanted this. Diana came to me 6 months ago. Said her mother was suffering. Said it would be a mercy. Said she'd pay me $100,000 to help. $100,000. More than I thought. I needed the money. My practice is failing. Malpractice insurance. Student loans. I'm drowning. So I said yes. God help me, I said yes. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm a doctor. I took an oath. First, do no harm. And here I am, prescribing poison to a healthy woman, asking a caregiver to administer fatal doses. I might as well be pulling the trigger myself. He sat back down, buried his face in his hands. What if I refuse? I asked, testing him, seeing how deep his conscience went. Then Diana will find someone else, someone with fewer scruples, someone who won't hesitate. He looked at me. At least with you, there's a chance. A chance to stop this, a chance to save her. Save her how? Don't give her the medication. Any of it. Flush the pills. Tell Diana she's taking them, but don't actually do it. Buy time. Maybe Mrs. Hartford will get stronger. Maybe Diana will change her mind. Maybe what? Maybe I'll find the courage to go to the police, but he wouldn't. I could see it in his eyes. He was trapped, scared, desperate, just like Diana wanted him to be. I'll think about it, I said. He left. Drove away fast, like he couldn't get out of there quick enough. I immediately texted Patricia. Doctor just confessed everything. Recorded it all. He's willing to testify if we give him immunity. Perfect. We've got our inside man. Friday morning, day 5, part 1. Diana called an emergency family meeting. 10 a.m. My house. Thomas flew in from California. Arrived at 9:30, hugged me, hugged Rosa, like he hadn't seen his mother in years. Mom, you look so weak. What happened? Diana intercepted. The doctors say it's progressing quickly. That's why I called you here. We need to discuss arrangements. Arrangements. Funeral arrangements. Before I was even dead. We sat in my living room, Diana, Richard, Thomas, all looking at Rosa in the bed. All thinking she was me. Diana had papers. Lots of papers, Mom's will. Her estate plan. Life insurance beneficiaries. We need to review everything. Make sure it's all in order. Shouldn't Mom be part of this conversation? Thomas asked. She's too weak. Too confused. The lawyer said we can handle it. As her power of attorney. Since when do you have power of attorney? Diana pulled out a document. She signed it 3 months ago. After the fall. Don't you remember, Mom? She looked at Rosa, prompting her. Rosa nodded weakly. Playing along. But Thomas looked suspicious. I don't remember you mentioning this. Because you're never here, Tommy. You're in California. Building your career. Leaving me to handle everything. That's not fair, isn't it? When's the last time you visited? When's the last time you called? I've been taking care of Mom alone for months. Alone. Thomas looked guilty. I'm here now. Too late. She's dying. And I'm the one who has to deal with it. Diana's voice cracked. Tears started. Real tears this time? Not from sadness. From stress. From the weight of her lies. Richard put his arm around her. It's okay, honey. Tommy doesn't understand. He hasn't been here. No, he hasn't. And now he shows up, questioning everything, making me feel like the bad guy. Nobody's saying you're the bad guy, Thomas said. I'm just trying to understand what's happening. What's happening is that our mother is dying. And instead of supporting me, you're interrogating me. She stood up, walked to the window, wiped her eyes. I watched all this from the corner. Martha Williams, invisible, recording everything. Thomas looked at Rosa. Mom, is this what you want? Diana handling everything? Rosa nodded again. Too weak to speak, see? Diana said. She agrees. She wants me to handle it. Because I'm the one who's been here. I'm the one who cares. But she didn't care. She cared about money. About inheritance. About making sure she got what she thought she deserved. Thomas looked at the papers. What does the will say? Everything's split equally. You and me. Fee and the life insurance? Same, 2 million, 1 million each, Thomas nodded. Okay, that's fair. But then he noticed something. Wait, when was this will updated? 3 months ago. Same time as the power of attorney. Why? Because Mom wanted to make sure everything was clear. No confusion. No fighting after she's gone. Thomas studied the document. This isn't Mom's signature. The room went silent. Diana's face went white. What? This signature. It's not Mom's. I've seen her signature 1,000 times. This isn't it. He held up the paper. Showed everyone. The signature was shaky, uneven, forced. Mom was weak when she signed it, Diana said quickly. Her hands shake. It doesn't look like her normal signature, but it's her. No. This is forged. Richard stood up. Are you calling my wife a liar? I'm calling this signature fake. Get out. What? I said get out. Of this house now. Thomas looked at Diana. Is he serious? Yes, get out. You come here after months of absence, accuse me of forgery, question everything I've done. Get out! Thomas grabbed his coat, looked at Rosa one more time. Mom, I'll come back. When Diana's not here, he left. Door slammed. Diana sat down, shaking. That went well. Richard laughed bitterly. He's going to be a problem, I know. But we'll handle it. We always do. I stood there. Camera recording, evidence piling up, forgery, another crime to add to the list. Friday evening. Day 5, Part 2. Diana came back at 7 p.m. with something in her hand. Small vial, unlabeled, clear liquid. Martha, Dr. Morrison sent this. Special medication. To help Mom sleep, she handed me the vial. I held it up to the light. What is it? Sedative. Very strong. Mom's been having trouble sleeping. This will help. How much should I give her? All of it. Tonight. In her IV. I didn't have an IV. Rosa didn't have an IV. But Diana was creating one. She'll need an IV first. I know. Dr. Morrison is coming this afternoon. He'll set it up. Then tonight you give her the medication. All of it. She'll just drift off. Drift off. This was it. The actual murder attempt. The undeniable proof. I'll make sure she gets it. Diana smiled. Relieved. Thank you, Martha. You're doing such a good job. Mom's lucky to have you. Lucky. Right. That afternoon, fake Dr. Morrison returned. He was even more nervous than before. Hands shaking. Kept wiping sweat from his forehead. Mrs. Hartford needs an IV for hydration. She's been drinking fine. Doctor's orders. He set up the IV, inserted it into Rosa's arm. She flinched. It was real. Actually, in her vein, this was getting too real. Tonight, give her the sedative. Through the IV, it'll be painless. Painless? She won't feel anything. She'll just go to sleep. He couldn't even say the word. Die. She'll die. He left quickly. Diana walked him out. I heard them talking downstairs. You're sure about this? It's the only way. She's suffering. We're doing her a favor. A favor. Murdering someone is a favor. And the caregiver? She's on board. I offered her money. What if she talks? She won't. Who would believe her? A random caregiver versus a grieving daughter? They laughed. Actually laughed. Then they left. Together. I sat there. Holding the vial. Sedative. Probably something that would stop the heart. Mixed with the digoxin already in Rosa's system, it would be lethal. I called Patricia. They want me to kill Rosa tonight, thinking she's me. Through an IV. Evelyn, this is it. This is the evidence we need. But you can't actually give her the drug. I know. But they'll be watching. Diana will check. She'll want to see a body. Then we give her one. That night, 11 p.m. Rosa lay in bed, IV in her arm. She looked at me, scared. What's the plan? You're going to die temporarily. What? Patricia's bringing EMTs, paramedics she trusts. You'll take a sedative, a safe one, that slows your heart rate. Makes you look dead. Then they'll discover the body. Take you to the hospital. Diana will think it worked. And then we reveal the truth. Confront her. Show her the evidence. Have her arrested. What if something goes wrong? Nothing will go wrong, but I wasn't sure I believed that either. 3 p.m. Patricia arrived with 2 EMTs, Mike and Sarah, both off duty, both willing to help. We explained the plan. Rosa would take a mild sedative, slow her heart, appear dead. They'd respond to my 911 call. Confirm death. Take her to the hospital, where she'd wake up. You sure about this? Mike asked. No, but it's the only way. Rosa took the sedative. Within minutes, her breathing slowed. Heart rate dropped. She looked dead. I waited 10 minutes. Then called 911. I need help. My patient isn't breathing. I gave the address. They said EMTs were on their way. The same EMTs already standing in my living room. Then I called Diana. Diana, you need to come. Your mother. She's not breathing. I think she's gone. Silence. Then, I'll be right there. Diana arrived in 15 minutes. Burst through the door. Ran upstairs, saw Rosa in bed. Not breathing. IV still in her arm. Empty vial on the nightstand. What happened? I gave her the medication. Like you said, all of it. She fell asleep. Then she stopped breathing. Diana looked at Rosa. No sadness. No tears, just satisfaction. You called 911? Yes, they're on their way. What did you tell them? That she stopped breathing. That I tried CPR. That I couldn't save her. Diana nodded. Good, that's good. You did everything right, Martha. Everything right. I'd just killed someone and she thought I did everything right. The EMTs arrived. Checked Rosa, confirmed death. Called time, 1:47 p.m. I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am. Diana put her face in her hands. Started crying. Fake tears. Performance tears. She was such a good mother. I can't believe she's gone. The EMTs loaded Rosa onto a stretcher. Covered her with a sheet. Took her out. Diana watched them go. Then turned to me. Thank you, Martha, for taking such good care of her. Of course, ma'am. The agency will send your final payment, plus a little extra. From me. For your excellent work, she was paying me. For murder. For killing her mother, I smiled. Thank you, ma'am. She left. Got in her car. Drove away. I stood in my house, alone, wearing a disguise. Having just faked my own death, and I waited so I was dead. Or at least everyone thought I was. But here's the thing about being dead. You get to hear what people really think about you. And what I heard in the next 24 hours made me realize my daughter was even worse than I thought. Keep watching to hear what happened at the hospital. Hospital. Midnight. Rosa was in a private room. Patricia beside her. The sedative wearing off. How long do I have to pretend? Not long. Evelyn's making her move. I was in the bathroom. Removing my disguise. Brown wig, contacts, makeup. Martha Williams disappearing. Evelyn Hartford returning. I looked in the mirror. Saw myself for the first time in a week. I looked tired. Older, but alive. I walked out. Patricia handed me my phone. Diana's been calling. Wants to make funeral arrangements already. Of course she does. Let her come here. You sure you want to do this? I've never been more sure of anything. Diana arrived. With Richard. Both wearing dark clothes. Somber expressions. Perfect grieving family. A nurse, one Patricia had arranged, met them in the hallway. Ms. Mitchell? The doctor needs to speak with you. About your mother. Is something wrong? Please follow me. They went to a private consultation room. I was waiting inside, standing, arms crossed, very much alive. Diana saw me, froze. Her face went from grief to shock to confusion to fear in 3 seconds. Mom? Hello, Diana. She took a step back. But you died. The nurse said a lot of things. Most of them lies. Just like you, Richard grabbed Diana's arm. What's going on? What's going on, Richard, is that I've been alive this whole time. Playing dead, watching, recording, gathering evidence. Evidence? Diana's voice shook. Evidence that you tried to kill me. Both of you. I pulled out my phone. Played a video? Diana's voice. Clear as day. Mom's life insurance is $2 million. Just be patient. The nurse will handle it. Diana's face went white. Where did you get that? From Martha Williams, your hired caregiver, who was actually me, in disguise. For the past week? That's impossible. Is it? Let me show you something else. I played another video. Richard, offering money. If you help us through this difficult time, there could be something in it for you. Say, 50,000? Richard started sweating. That's out of context. Really? What about this? Dr. Morrison, prescribing poison. Double the current dose. That should speed up the process. Diana slumped into a chair. We can explain. Explain what? That you were trying to murder me for my life insurance? That you bribed a fake doctor? That you offered money to a caregiver to kill your own mother? Mom, please don't call me that. You lost the right to call me Mom when you decided to kill me. Patricia stepped forward. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, you're both under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, fraud, and bribery. 2 police officers entered. Handcuffs out! Wait! Diana screamed. You can't do this. Actually, I can. Because I have evidence. Hours of video, audio, documentation, all admissible in court. Richard tried to run. The officers grabbed him. Diana looked at me. Why? Why did you do this? Because you were going to kill me. Because you're my daughter and I needed to know the truth. Because I had to protect myself. We needed the money. You needed? You needed? Diana, you live in $1 million house. Drive a luxury car. Your kids go to private school. What did you need money for? Debt. We have so much debt. Richard's investments failed. We're drowning. So you decided to drown me instead? She started crying. Real tears this time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We didn't know what else to do. You could have asked me for help. You could have told me the truth. You could have done anything except try to murder me. The officers led them away. Diana crying. Richard silent. Both in handcuffs, I watched them go. My daughter, my only child, being arrested for trying to kill me, and I felt nothing. After the officers took Diana and Richard away, I stayed in that consultation room for a long time. Just sitting, breathing, trying to process what had just happened. I'd caught my daughter trying to murder me. I'd sent her to prison. I'd destroyed my own family, and I felt empty. Patricia came back in. Evelyn, you okay? I don't know. Am I supposed to be okay? No, you're supposed to feel exactly how you're feeling. Which is probably confused, angry, sad, relieved, all at once. Yes, all of that. She sat beside me. You did the right thing. Did I? Or did I just ruin 3 lives? Diana's, Richard's, their kids. Diana ruined her own life the moment she decided to kill you for money. But I'm her mother. I should have seen it coming. Should have stopped it before it got this far. How? By dying? By letting her get away with it? No, by being a better mother. By teaching her better. Stop. You can't blame yourself for her choices. She's an adult. She made decisions. Bad decisions. And now she faces consequences. I knew Patricia was right, but it didn't make it easier. What about their kids? My grandkids? They'll be taken care of. Thomas is filing for guardianship. They'll live with him. They'll hate me for putting their mother in prison. Maybe. Or maybe one day they'll understand that you saved yourself, that you refused to be a victim. Maybe. but that day felt very far away. I sat in Patricia's office, drinking coffee. Rosa beside me. What happens now? Rosa asked. Now? Trial, evidence, testimony. They'll both go to prison. For how long? 15 to 25 years. Maybe more. And you? How do you feel? I didn't answer right away. How did I feel? Sad, angry, relieved, betrayed. All at once. I feel like I lost my daughter, but I saved my life. Patricia nodded. Evelyn, there's one more thing. What? Thomas, Diana's brother. He's been calling. He had no idea what Diana was planning. He wants to see you. Does he know? About the disguise? The recordings? The arrest? Yes, I told him. And? He's horrified, ashamed. He wants to apologize. I thought about it. Thomas, the good son. The one who wasn't trying to kill me. Send him in. Thomas came in, eyes red. He'd been crying. Mom, I didn't know, I swear. Diana never told me. I know Tommy. She's my sister. But what she did, it's unforgivable. Yes, it is. Can you forgive her? I looked at my son. Really looked at him? Maybe, someday, but not today. Today, I'm just glad to be alive. He hugged me. Tight, like he was afraid I'd disappear. I'm so glad you're okay. Me too, Tommy. Me too. So that's how I caught my daughter trying to murder me, by becoming my own caregiver, by playing dead, by trusting the wrong people looked right. But the story doesn't end there. Because what happened at the trial? That's what you need to hear next. 6 months later, courthouse, downtown, cold marble, lots of reporters. Cameras everywhere. The trial of Diana Mitchell and Richard Mitchell. Charged with conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, fraud, bribery, and elder abuse. I sat in the front row. Thomas beside me. Patricia behind me. Ready? Diana and Richard sat at the defense table. Both wearing conservative clothes. Both looking defeated. Their lawyer, expensive but not expensive enough, shuffled papers nervously. The prosecutor stood. Young woman, sharp, Patricia had recommended her. Your Honor, the state will prove that Diana Mitchell and Richard Mitchell conspired to murder Evelyn Hartford, the defendant's mother, for financial gain. We have video evidence, audio recordings, testimony from multiple witnesses. This was premeditated, calculated, cold-blooded. Diana's lawyer stood. Your Honor, my clients were under extreme financial stress. They made poor decisions, but they never intended actual harm. This is a case of bad judgment, not murder. The judge, older woman, stern face, looked at both lawyers. Proceed with opening statements. The prosecutor played the videos. All of them, Diana's whispered conversation. Just be patient. The nurse will handle it, Richard's bribe. There could be something in it for you. Say, $50,000? Dr. Morrison's prescription. Double the current dose. That should speed up the process. The jury watched. Faces shocked, disgusted, angry. Diana kept her head down. Wouldn't look at the screen. Wouldn't look at me. Richard stared straight ahead. Blank expression, like he'd disconnected from reality. Then came the testimony. First witness, Dr. James Harrison. My real doctor. I never prescribed digoxin to Evelyn Hartford. She has no heart condition, no medical reason to take that medication. What would happen if someone took high doses of digoxin without needing it? Heart arrhythmia, seizures, death. The jury took notes. Lots of notes. Second witness, Patricia Chen, my lawyer. She explained the plan. The disguise. The week-long operation. The recordings. Mrs. Hartford risked her life to gather this evidence, to prove what her daughter was planning. She became her own caregiver because she knew no one would believe her otherwise. Diana's lawyer cross-examined. Isn't it possible Mrs. Hartford misunderstood the conversations? That her daughter was simply worried about her? No. The recordings are clear. Diana Mitchell offered money to murder her mother. Allegedly offered money. There's video, audio, bank records. This isn't alleged. This is documented fact. Third witness, Me, I took the stand. Swore to tell the truth. Looked at the jury. The prosecutor asked, "Mrs. Hartford, why did you become your own caregiver?" "Because I heard my daughter planning to kill me, and I needed proof." "Why not go to the police immediately?" "Because I'm a 65-year-old woman accusing my own daughter of attempted murder. Without evidence, who would believe me? They'd think I was confused, paranoid, maybe even senile. That's exactly what Diana was counting on." "So you took matters into your own hands?" "I protected myself. The only way I knew how." The prosecutor showed the jury photos. "Me is Martha Williams. Side by side with me is Evelyn Hartford. You're the same person?" "Yes." "And Diana never recognized you?" "No, she saw what she expected to see. A caregiver. A stranger. She never looked close enough to see her own mother." I looked at Diana. She was crying now, tears streaming down her face. "Do you have anything to say to your daughter?" the prosecutor asked. I thought about it. What did I want to say? "I loved you, Diana, from the moment you were born. I gave you everything. My time, my money, my life. And you repaid me by trying to take that life away. I don't know if I can ever forgive you, but I hope someday you understand what you did and why it was so unforgivable." Silence in the courtroom. Even the judge looked emotional. No further questions. Diana's lawyer called character witnesses, friends, neighbors, people who said Diana was a good person, a loving mother, someone who made a mistake. But the evidence was overwhelming. Videos, audio, medical records, bank statements, everything documented, everything verified. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Verdict: guilty. On all counts, Diana collapsed. Had to be helped out of the courtroom. Richard showed no emotion. Just stood there, accepting his fate. Sentencing 2 weeks later. More witnesses. More testimony. This time about character. About who Diana and Richard were as people. Their friends came. Said they were good parents. Good neighbors. Good people who made one terrible mistake. But I came too. And I had a different story. The judge asked if I wanted to make a victim impact statement. I stood up. Walked to the front. Looked at Diana. "Your Honor, Diana is my daughter. I raised her. Loved her. Gave her everything I had. And she repaid me by trying to take my life. But this isn't just about me. This is about every elderly person who's been exploited by family. Every parent who's been seen as nothing more than a bank account. Every person who's been told they're too old, too weak, too confused to matter. What Diana did was more than attempted murder. It was betrayal. It was theft. It was elder abuse of the worst kind. And if we don't hold her accountable, fully accountable, then we're telling every other person out there that it's okay. That you can exploit your parents, steal from them, poison them, and get away with a slap on the wrist. So I'm asking you, Your Honor, to send a message that this behavior is unacceptable, that elderly lives matter, that families don't get to treat their parents like disposable assets. Diana made her choice. Now she needs to face the full consequences of that choice. I sat down. The courtroom was silent. Diana was crying. Richard was stone-faced. The judge looked at them, then at me, then back at them. "Ms. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, you conspired to murder a woman who gave you life, who loved you, who trusted you, and you did it for money. There is no greater betrayal than this. I've presided over thousands of cases, murders, frauds, robberies. But this is among the most disturbing I've ever seen, because it wasn't committed by strangers. It was committed by family. And that makes it worse, so much worse. Diana Mitchell, I sentence you to 20 years in state prison. No possibility of parole for 15 years. Richard Mitchell, I sentence you to 18 years in state prison. No possibility of parole for 12 years. Dr. James Morrison, who cooperated with authorities, I sentence you to 5 years, with possibility of parole after 2 years. Court is adjourned. The gavel fell. Diana collapsed. Guards caught her. Helped her out. Richard walked calmly, like he'd accepted his fate long ago. I watched them go. My daughter, going to prison. Because of me, and I felt Nothing. Just exhaustion. Just relief that it was over. Thomas came over. Hugged me. You did the right thing. Then why does it feel so wrong? Because she's your daughter. And that's never going to stop hurting. He was right. It never would. 6 months after the trial, things started to normalize. I sold the house. Too many bad memories. Moved to a smaller place across town. Somewhere Diana had never been. Somewhere I could breathe. Thomas visited every weekend. Brought his wife, his kids. My grandkids. They asked about Diana sometimes. Grandma, where's Aunt Diana? She's away. For a long time. When is she coming back? I don't know, sweetie. Maybe never. It hurt to say that. But it was true. 1 year after the trial, I started a foundation. The Evelyn Hartford Foundation for Elder Protection, funding legal aid for seniors. Awareness campaigns, resources for families, hotlines for reporting abuse. Because what happened to me? It happens every day, to thousands of people, who don't have the skills I had, the resources I had, the courage I had. They suffer in silence, get exploited, get abused, get murdered, and nobody does anything about it. So I decided to do something. The foundation helped 200 families in the first year, prevented 30 cases of financial exploitation, stopped 5 murder plots, 5 people alive today because we intervened. That's what made it worth it. Knowing I turned my nightmare into something that saved lives. 2 years later, I'm sitting in my living room. Thomas visiting, his wife, their kids, my grandkids. Life feels normal again, quiet, peaceful, but different, because I know what my daughter tried to do. And I can never unknow it. Thomas pours coffee. Have you heard from Diana? She writes, every month. Letters from prison. Do you read them? Sometimes. What does she say? She's sorry. She understands what she did. She wants forgiveness. Will you forgive her? I think about it. 2 years. Lots of therapy. Lots of reflection, maybe, eventually. But not yet. She tried to kill me, Tommy. That's not something you just get over. He nods. I understand. Last week I visited Diana in prison, first time since the trial. 2 years without seeing my daughter. She looked older, thinner, gray streaks in her hair. Prison had aged her. We sat across from each other. Glass between us. Phone receivers. Mom, you came. Yes. I didn't think you would. I wasn't sure I would either. Silence. What do you say to someone who tried to murder you? I'm sorry, she said. I've said it 1,000 times. But I'll say it again. I'm so sorry. I know you are. Do you forgive me? I looked at her. Really looked at her? I don't know, Diana. I want to. But every time I close my eyes, I hear you. Just be patient. The nurse will handle it, and I remember. You wanted me dead. I was desperate. We were drowning in debt. I wasn't thinking clearly. No. You were thinking clearly. You planned it, carefully, methodically. You hired a fake doctor, bribed a caregiver, poisoned me for a week. That's not desperation. That's calculation. She started crying. I know what I did. And I'll spend every day for the rest of my life regretting it. Good. You should. But Mom, please, can you at least try to forgive me? Someday? I thought about it. Forgiveness. What does that even mean? Maybe one day, but not today. Today I'm still angry, still hurt, still betrayed. I understand. But Diana? Yes, you're still my daughter. And I still love you. Even if I can't forgive you yet, she sobbed. Thank you. Thank you. I hung up the phone. Walked out. Didn't look back today. Right now, I'm sitting in my house. The house Diana wanted so badly. The house she was willing to kill me for. But I'm still here, still alive, still fighting. Because here's what I learned from all this. Family isn't about blood. It's about trust, loyalty, love, real love. Not the kind that comes with conditions. Not the kind that disappears when money gets tight. Diana taught me that. In the worst possible way, but she also taught me something else. That I'm stronger than I thought. That I can protect myself. That I don't need to be a victim. I became my own caregiver. Literally and figuratively. I took care of myself. Saved my own life. By being smart, being brave, being willing to do whatever it took. And if that's not power, I don't know what is. Now let me ask you one final question, because this is important. How many parents out there are being exploited by their own children? How many families prioritize money over love? How many people are suffering in silence, afraid to speak up because they think no one will believe them? If you're in that situation, listen to me. Trust your instincts. Protect yourself. Gather evidence. Don't be afraid to take action, because you're worth more than any inheritance, any life insurance policy, any amount of money. You're worth being alive, and if someone in your family can't see that, then maybe they're not really family at all. The story you've just heard has been changed in names and places to protect the identities of the people involved. We're not telling this to judge, but with the hope that someone listens and stops to reflect. How many elderly parents are being taken advantage of by their own children? How many families let greed destroy love? I truly wonder, if you were in my place, what would you do? Would you confront them immediately? Would you go to the police? Or would you do what I did? Become your own caregiver to catch them in the act? I want to know your opinion, because every story is like a candle that can light the way for someone else. If you suspect elder abuse, speak up. If you see financial exploitation, report it. If someone you love is in danger, take action, because silence protects the guilty. And speaking up saves lives. God always blesses, and I'm convinced that courage and wisdom lead us to better days. Meanwhile, on the final screen, I leave you with two of the channel's most beloved stories. I'm sure they will surprise you. Thank you for staying with me until this moment.